My lovely, lovely, wonderful people, a pleasant evening to you. So I saw something that just made me feel like I just got something that gave me vegan vitality. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley is leading a campaign for Caribbean nations to receive trillions of dollars in reparations from former colonial powers for the transatlantic slave trade. While she stated that Barbados's estimated damages are 4.9 trillion, she noted payments will be a long-term process. The push for reparatory justice. Prime Minister Motley is a driving force behind a renewed manifesto presented by Caribbean leaders in Accra, Ghana, calling for reparatory justice. This manifesto updates the original 10-point plan drafted by the Caribbean Community CARICOM. The claim, Motley stated that the estimated damages owed to Barbados total 4.9 trillion. This figure is based on economic research that tracks stolen wealth, lost labor, and lingering generational poverty. And if them are 4.9 trillion, we supposed to, boy, I don't even know. We're supposed to go on zillion, quazillion, I don't even know. The targets, reparations are being demanded from former colonial powers like the United Kingdom, as well as from commercial enterprises that directly profited from the slave trade. The goals. The money is not meant to fund community development, my apology. The money is meant to fund community development, healthcare, education, and address the development deficit left behind after colonialism ended. Let me just interject here. I'm in support of this 150 or 1,000, 2,000 infinity percent. And along with, in terms of dealing with healthcare, because, we have similar issues in Jamaica. The healthcare system, security, education, and the infrastructure, the roads and whatnot. But my belief is also that individuals must get a portion, because our foreparents were affected by slavery as well, and it has affected us badly. You see how we behave. You see what has happened. How blacks are against black. The aggression, the vitriol, the rancor, the acrimonious behavior and statements and comments. I mean, everything has gone downhill, and the incessant poverty, because Barbados has a better economy than us. So if they're 4.9 trillion, I'm sure we're gazillion or zillion something. Why now? Is asked. Motley points out an ongoing economic imbalance resulting from historical injustices. When slavery was officially abolished, former slave owners received financial compensation. Lord of His mercy, from colonial governments. Every time I read about this, it just irritates me. That's why I never really liked to read too much on history. It really brings this incensed feeling, this anger, It's like, there is a scripture that says, if you reward evil with good, evil will never leave your doorstep. In other words, we're not talking about when it says bless your enemies and do good to those that despitefully use you and hate you. We're talking about lauding wrong, praising wrong, because when slavery was ended, to compensate them, where they can't abuse and use and destroy humanity again. The blacks and other, ethnic groups, they were compensated for their evil, the atrocities. I mean, it is unbelievable. But let's continue. However, the enslaved people and newly independent nations received no developmental support. She argues that this historical extraction lay the groundwork for the Industrial Revolution in wealthy nations, while leaving countries like Barbados with heavy debt and a high vulnerability to modern climate change, just like us here in Jamaica, and even worse. The demands, rather than expecting a single lump sum payout, the CARICOM 10-point plan calls for a combination of reforms. These include formal apologies and acknowledgements of the harms of chattel slavery. Agreed? Direct financial compensation to address historical exploitation and malevolence. I'm putting that word in. Debt cancellation to free up national resources for local poverty reduction and healthcare across the Caribbean. Jamaica is well in need of it. Compensation for gender-based violence that disproportionately impacted enslaved women. And I'm adding in this point, and money is to be sent to every single solitary account to people, because we have all been affected. And I don't want people to tell me about people will squander money. You squander money too at some point. Leave them alone. If they want to squander it, for them business. We're too fast enough, that for them business. So I'm all for fixing the roads, the healthcare, the education. Say, oh gosh, definitely. But give people money individually. Yeah, because we too were affected individually as well as we were collectively. I trust that this campaign that she's on will be fruitful. It will be successful. There have been talks here in Jamaica for a long time, and we have seen nothing happening. You understand me? We can't really care too much if they find it difficult to find the money. They didn't find it difficult to treat us poorly, to abuse us, use us, murder us, back in those days when it was slavery. Right? So we can't be concerned about where they're going to get the money from. The money has not migrated to the moon, nor to the stars, nor to the other planets, unless they threw them in the fire, the lake of fire, or the fiery furnace that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were in. And as far as I know, I don't think so. So they need to find the money and give to us. Here in Jamaica, there in Barbados, and other countries that have been badly affected by chattel slavery. Badly affected today. The only nearly 2% of the world's wealth is in the hand of black people. It hasn't even reached 2%. So it's like you have 100% and only 2% out of that. Father, sometimes it's really hard to really mull over that mull over it, to think on it, to really ponder on it, to know that such atrocities and decadence, have just gone like just with the wind, with no one really and truly being held accountable tangibly. Formal apologies, giving the money so that we can do the necessary improvements. Far too long, these colonial bureaucratic governments and entities have owed us and seemingly not wanting to pay us. They need to pay us right now. Don't even wait. I pray her campaign is successful, and I pray she gets the support needed. And they stay in and they never give up until we get through. Never give up. And I want individually as well as collectively, we all benefit from it. Individually and collectively. I don't think people understand how far-reaching slavery has been. It's going to take another set of decades before we probably hurdle it. Probably, I say. Because look at how we are as a black people, as a black race, as a black community. We are in more than disarray. We're against each other, we hate each other, and we have absolutely no founded or grounded or rooted reason as to why. It is some of the things that we learned from slavery, but my policy is that whatever we learn, we can unlearn and then relearn if we choose to. It will take time because of habits and idiosyncrasies and things that are in our psyche, but we can change for the better if we choose to. That's my belief. We can. It's just that many people choose not to. But give us the money. Give us the money and the apology. Give it to us. We are deserving of it. We are deserving of the trillions and trillions of dollars to be given individually and collectively. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. Rate TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lines and follow me on Instagram.